There we
All
go.
right. So I'm not going to have the questions in the video. I'm just going to have them on screen during our shorts that we're making. So we're just going to listen to your answers and then move on to the next one.
Okay.
What made you want to fundraise for LGMD2L?
So I was actually diagnosed with LGMD2L back in October of last year after about a year of pretty intensive testing and wait lists and all of that stuff. And just being diagnosed made me obviously start researching a lot more about the disease. And I came across the LGMD2L Foundation. And I decided that I wanted to dedicate some time to do research and to raise funds for the amazing work that the foundation is doing.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you. So what made you consider that you had LGMD2L? Like what started that story?
So I have a history of chronic pain for the past about 4 years, including some issues with my thighs, weakness, pain in my shoulders, lower back. Long story short, so looking into that with my doctors, ran some blood tests back in January of 2024 and found some elevated CK levels. So looked into that further with neurologist, did some genetic testing, and came back with LGMD2L as my diagnosis.
Thank you for sharing. Why is raising money for LGMD2L research important to you personally? Kind of answering that, but if you could just answer it.
Yeah, for sure. Being someone with LGMD2L, of course, motivates me to want to find a cure or a gene therapy or a treatment of some sort to improve the quality of life for myself and those around me in the community of LGMD2L. It is a rare disease, so it doesn't get too much attention. When I came across this foundation, I immediately wanted to contribute.
I love that. So with fundraising in mind, what kind of fundraiser did you run and how much did you raise?
So I went back and forth a little bit about what type of fundraiser I wanted to do or how I wanted to go about it. My diagnosis is still very new to me. So it's been pretty overwhelming over the last 6 or so months, learning about it, finding where the best spot was to donate. I knew I wanted to do a donation, but how and where was the big question. Being from Canada, I was going to originally do a fundraiser for MD Canada, which is a very general organization, of course. They fund all different subtypes of muscular dystrophy. But then I came across the LGMD2L Foundation, which is very much more specific to what I have. The next step was how comfortable am I in posting to my my circle. Getting out of my comfort zone this soon after my diagnosis was my biggest concern, I guess. So I did end up doing just a private group on Facebook. I didn't actually post to my full Facebook group. I made a private group, and my kind of rule of thumb of who to add and who to know was who I would maybe invite to my wedding, while also inviting them to open it up to their circles as well, or people that they feel would want to donate to this cause in general. So it kind of took off from there. So social media, thank God for social media. I made the private group. The people in my circle added people from their circle, and I ended up raising $5,425 Canadian, which I believe transferred to about 3,700 US dollars, which was my grand donation to the foundation.
That's incredible. What did it feel like to reach that milestone?
It felt great. It gave me a sense of purpose in 6 months of kind of just unknown where to go, what to do, how to help, how to get involved. I knew I wanted to get involved, but feeling like I really had gotten involved was a really empowering feeling. And so grateful for those in my circle. It's really a good reminder of who is there to support you.
I love that. What was like some of the most surprising or encouraging moments while you were having your fundraiser?
Hmm. I think, yeah, going back to that, just how much getting out of your comfort zone could not pay off. That's not what I want to say. Um, hmm. Maybe can you repeat that question? Sorry.
Yeah. What were some of the most surprising or encouraging moments during your fundraiser?
Mhm. I think that encouraging was finding out like how many people were there and how much getting out of my comfort zone really made me realize that. It made the people that I knew were in my circle to support me, but just really solidified that for me, I guess. It was a really heartwarming feeling.
I love that. You've kind of already answered my next question, but just for the clip's sake,
Mhm.
helped make your fundraiser so successful.
I think having it on an online platform was really helpful. It didn't really require that people like come out and do something. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't encourage someone to do that. I hope to do that one day if this is an annual thing for me. But I think that considering it's online, it's kind of easy. I gave people the option to donate directly to me or donate directly to the foundation, which I do know people in my circle did do that. So my total was probably more than what I was able to donate. Um, Gentle reminders, no pressure to donate, just small or big. We can just make a dent in the fundraising.
I love that so much. What would you say to someone who wants to help but doesn't know where to start?
Reach out to the community. When I got diagnosed, I was very quick to get online with the access we have to social media now. And I was in touch with someone who's my age who has LGMD2L, female as well. Within a week of being diagnosed, she actually introduced me to the foundation. And just talking and getting support from somebody who struggles with the same diagnosis and the unknowns and all the questions that you might have, reach out. Anybody's free to reach out to me and get out of your comfort zone if you can.
I love that. Do you think that anyone in the community could have that same result that you did with a fundraiser?
For sure. I did not expect to have the turnout that I did just with like a simple Facebook post. It's actually a way for me to tell my family, extended friends about my diagnosis too. So it was kind of killing two birds with one stone. Summing up the story, informing them, and then dedicating some time to raise that awareness. Did that answer that question?
It did. Thank you. So, why do you believe it's important for more people to get involved in fundraising for rare disease research?
I mean, rare diseases don't get much attention because they are so rare. But a lot of rare diseases really impact people's lives, including my own. And I think that if you or if anyone you know has a rare disease of any sort, I would encourage you to educate yourself, do research, and raise awareness, talk about it with those around you because you'd be amazed at how many people also struggle with something, or you'd find somebody that you can confide in. Um, and yeah.
I love that. So, with your fundraiser, what are you hoping the money will accomplish for LGMD2L research?
I hope that it helps the foundation. I know they're working towards taking the first steps in finding a gene therapy or towards finding a treatment or a cure, whatever that looks like. And I hope that that money that I donated helps them get there some way, somehow.
I love that. If you could say one thing to the LGMD2L community, what would it be?
One thing. Um, Stay positive, get involved, and be connected. Get connected to the small but mighty community of people who are struggling with what you're struggling with. And it will probably benefit you and those around you more than you know.
And what would you say to people who don't have it but are supportive of their friends or family who have LGMD2L? Like, what advice do you have for them?
Hmm. Um, Ask the person how they're doing. Don't be afraid to check in on them, and ask if there's anything that you can do to contribute to a foundation, or whether it be fundraising or just raising awareness, helping inform other people who may be able to do the fundraising. I know times are tough financially right now, and it doesn't look like that for everybody, and that's okay. There's other ways to contribute other than just financially.
Definitely. What's one thing you've learned through this experience that you're going to carry with you?
Probably getting out of your comfort zone can be uncomfortable, but it can pay off. And if people gather together, we can make a big difference.
I love that. Is there anyone else in your family who has LGMD2L? Just
Not
curious.
not that we know of right now. My spouse was just tested. But my brother will be getting tested soon. The wait times in Canada are a lot longer than US. So we're just waiting for that. But I only have one sibling.
That's all of my questions. Did you have any extra, Hal, that come to mind?
Yeah, I'll ask a few things if it's okay. And like this will be super like just overlapping and repetitive with what Kelsey Marie asked, but I feel like it's good for us just to get more footage, so we can kind of find some great sound bites and put them together. So please bear with me.
Yeah, if I wasn't specific enough or if I went off track on a question, I feel like just re-ask it.
Sounds good. I mean, it all sounded great to me, but Kelsey Marie, if you have things you want to follow up on, then jump in. Can you tell me a little bit about the like emotional journey of your diagnosis?
Mm-hmm. The emotional journey is a roller coaster.
Mm.
I think that as much as knowing something wasn't right for the past 4 years, actually finding out that something's not right is a whole other story. I think that being diagnosed, it's important to reach out to the community. It can be a pretty lonely feeling, and I didn't really let myself sit in that loneliness. Like I said, turned straight to social media and started frantically searching for somebody. And I am so grateful that I found somebody, and now I've found a whole community. It's a small community, but the Facebook group, being able to post questions or talking about symptoms and having 10, 20, 30 people respond to you within hours, has really benefited me, and I've been happy to share my experience with other people, because if we don't, then everybody's going to feel alone, and that's not a fun feeling. I have my days, good days, bad days, but yeah, knowing that I have people with me is amazing. It helps.
So well put. Thank you. You kind of answered this, but I'll ask anyway, just to, be a little repetitive and get some more redundancy. So what helps you the most on your journey with LGMT?
My family, as well as the LGMD2L community, but being able to be open is something that I'm practicing. But I think it is very important, and it has benefited me. My family and friends are amazing. They are my village of people, and confiding in them has been so special. And I don't think I would have gotten through thus far with them without them.
Beautiful. Yeah. And then it's like you keep answering the questions just from where I asked them. But so what helps you stay strong?
What helps me stay strong? My mindset. If I had to choose one thing, there's many things. But I think that our mindset, it affects us more than we know. And I've learned that as well over the last couple of years, and especially this year. Staying positive and getting help when I need it.
Sorry, I'm not sure if this is already asked, but what was your initial reaction when you found out that you had LGMD2L?
It was a mix of
Sorry to interrupt. Do you mind, Morgan, when you respond, could you phrase it in a way that doesn't need the question? Just as how do I say this? So like Kelsey Marie asked, what was your initial reaction when you blah 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 blah? Right. So could you begin the sentence with, when I first got diagnosed, my initial reaction was, just to make the editing a little bit easier? Is that
Yes.
okay? I think this might be a nice soundbite. So
Yep. My initial reaction when I got diagnosed with LGMD2L was a mix of relief from knowing that my symptoms were chalked up to something, sadness, grief, and anger. I think that's all I got.
So coming back to the fundraising, do you mind walking us through kind of step by step, like everything you did and like how you set it up, like the things you went through, kind of like in detail? That I think could be helpful for others that are thinking about doing similar things but don't know how to go about it.
Yes. When I first started considering doing a fundraiser to donate to the LGMD2L Foundation, I needed to figure out how to do it or what platform to do it on. I knew that I had my largest platform on my Facebook, but I also knew that I wasn't comfortable yet with sharing my story on that big of a platform. I decided to make a private group or a private event on Facebook, which is pretty easy to do on there. And then you're able to invite people from your Facebook group or your Facebook friends list to the group. So I was able to carefully select who I wanted in the group or the event. I actually did it for or on National Rare Disease Day. So it felt like a good segue to make the fundraiser. I did it for 30 days. So I allowed people 30 days to make donations. I summed up a bit about my story. So telling the people closest to me in my circle about the last year, about my diagnosis, a little bit about what I've been doing for myself, a little bit about the foundation, just to nicely sum up what it was they were donating to. I also gave them the option to donate directly to me via electronic transfer or directly to the foundation, providing the foundation link and information in there. I welcomed the people in my circle to invite people from their circles to join the group as well. And I did one gentle reminder about halfway through, which really helped donations. It actually is what got me the last 3/4 of my donation. I raised a total of 5,425 Canadian dollars, which was a total of 3,700 US dollars. I then made the donation directly to the foundation and got some more information from the foundation founder about where the money would be going. I also went back and shared that with the people who donated.
That was really good. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I love that you're repeating stuff as well. That's going to make it so much easier for us later on.
Yeah.
Cool. Tell me, like, how did it feel when you accomplished this amazing feat?
It felt heartwarming, if I had to sum it up in one word. It's been a rough year trying to figure out kind of where to go, what this diagnosis means, if there's anyone else out there who has the same diagnosis. Just a year of questions and unknown. So being able to contribute to this amazing foundation that is doing work directly towards my diagnosis and finding a gene therapy or a treatment to help improve the quality of life of myself and others that struggle with LGMD2L meant a lot to me. It gave a little sense of purpose and direction in a year of uncertainty.
It's beautiful.
I just thought of a question, if that's okay. What are some of your favorite resources for emotional support and just education as someone with LGMD2L? Like, what do you find yourself going back to in addition to Facebook?
Mhm. With regards to resources that I've sought out for myself after my diagnosis of LGMD2L, of course, involves the foundation community Facebook group, my friends and family, and those around me. I don't know. MD Canada has amazing resources that I have access to. Doctors, specialists, of course. Yeah, I think that's it. Sorry, I didn't know if I should talk about MD Canada. But I know, like, Canada doesn't have LGMD2L, like, a foundation at all, so you guys probably have Canadians on there, too. I know you do, actually, in the Facebook group. So, yeah, they have services.
Yeah, it's although the foundation is like registered and was started in the United States, it's like intended to be a global body, and we do actually have kind of country leaders, like people who are sort of helping do outreach within different countries. I believe we have someone in Canada. Ralph, our president, manages that. I think there's somebody locally who's kind of helps with mailing lists and sending out information in Canada. We certainly have those people in several countries.
Okay.
And it's great to mention MD Canada and MDA, and like, we're all
Yes,
fighting through the same cause, right?
yes, exactly.
I have another one. What's something people often misunderstand about LGMD2L?
Oh, I feel like I'm still learning this. I think that people might struggle to understand the little day-to-day things that someone with LGMD are affected by. I think that we as humans are taught and pretty good at putting on a smile and getting through our day. But it's really not all that easy all the time. And I think that just asking or educating yourself as a friend or family member of someone with LGMD2L will really help you and in turn help them.
How has your day-to-day changed? Walk me through your day. What's it like?
Yeah, my day to day I'm still mobile right now. I have some weakness. My day to day is mainly affected by pain levels right now, and the inability to be as active as I always was. So that's been probably my biggest struggle with the diagnosis, watching my blood levels, and figuring out what I can and can't do. Finding that happy medium of preserving my muscles without doing more damage than good to my muscles. That is, yeah, my biggest challenge by far.
How has your condition shaped the way that you see yourself and the world around you?
Mm. My condition and how I see myself and the world around me has changed. That didn't make any sense.
Take two.
Take two. My condition has changed how I see the world around me and myself. Yeah. My condition has changed how I see the world around me and myself in many ways. It's really opened my eyes to invisible disabilities. I work in the social services or social work field. So I've always studied that and knew about it, but actually being able to now empathize with somebody who has an invisible disease has really opened my eyes to what it looks like. I'm struggling to answer this question.
You're doing
good.
You're doing so good. What's something that's been really hard, but you don't talk about often, if that's okay to ask?
That's okay to ask. Let me just think about it for a second. Something that's really hard. Sorry, something that's really hard, but what was the second part of that?
Something that's been really hard, but you don't talk about it often.
Okay. Something that's been really hard that I don't tend to talk about often since getting my diagnosis is the fear of the unknown, the fear of what my future will look like. I am a 27-year-old female. I want to have children one day. What will that look like? That's completely changed. Will I be okay at 60 years old, or will I be not mobile at all at 60 years old? Not knowing that as a 27-year-old is scary. And that is probably, yeah, my biggest fear.
So it's kind of a personal follow-up. You don't have to answer. Having children is a very personal decision, no matter where you are in life. Tell me more about how LGMD2L has impacted the way you view having children for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a few different aspects about having a child that have been impacted by my diagnosis or my worries around that. First of all, carrying a baby might look different because my muscles won't recover as the same person, or sorry, as a normal person's would. So that is a little bit scary. Also, having to think about how this condition is passed down genetically. So my spouse has had to get tested for LGMD2L. All of those logistics and things that I never had to consider before my diagnosis. And then caring for a child during, a painful period of time, or being able to use my arms if they get weaker, walking around, being mobile, all those things that you want to be able to do as a mom.
That makes sense. Where do you find strength when things like this feel overwhelming?
Where do I find strength?
Yeah, when it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. I find strength in myself, my mindset, self-care, confiding in my family and friends when things get tough, being honest with myself, being vulnerable, getting out of my comfort zone, and seeking support when I need it.
So in that same vein, how do you care for your mental health while navigating a progress of your condition?
I care for my mental health through talking to people, doing my physical therapy. I really find comfort in knowing that I'm doing all of the things I can be doing for myself right now. Seeking specialists, second opinions, all of those things, reassurance, my partner, my spouse, my friends, yeah, all of those around me.
I love that. Do you have any more questions, Al?
I don't. I think this has been great. Thank you so much, Morgan. Could we maybe just record a couple of little sort of intro outro bits? Like maybe, you could just like reintroduce yourself, say your name and where you're from, your age if you're comfortable, but you absolutely don't have to, like any other personal details. And then after that, we could record a few kind of like just motivational farewell messages.
Mhm.
But to start with, maybe could you just do the intro?
Yes, for sure. Hi there, my name is Morgan. I am a 27-year-old female from Ontario, Canada. I was diagnosed with LGMD2L in October of 2024.
Amazing. And then like if there was sort of again, don't want to put words in your mouth, anything you want to say, it's great. But like some kind of sort of farewell message, like if you wanted to talk about, the fact that people are not alone or they're stronger than they think, or that, whatever you'd like to say as like a sort of motivating way to say goodbye to the community.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, give me a sec.
Take your time, please.
Maybe I should go back to like, if I could say one thing to those in the LGMD2L community, I would say that remember you're not alone. Stay positive, keep a good mindset, confide in those around you, and get out of your comfort zone if you can. Raise money or raise awareness for this foundation.
Pretty great.
Second?
Yeah. Is there anything else, Kelsey Moon?
No, I don't think I don't think I have any more questions. Thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording if you guys are cool with that.
So sounds good. And just to share this message back to you, Morgan, you know, please remember that you're not alone as well. Reach
Yeah.
out to us at any time. Like we are here for you. It's really